Hello and welcome to my next chess video. This time I show you the game between Winter 0.2 Ancient versus Stockfish 010518, so the development version from the 1st of May 2018, and I let them play this position here, which is a variation of the Sicilian, not this move of course, which is a variation of the Sicilian Leventhal or Kalashnikov or Pelican, doesn't matter how you want to call it, variation. And this arises after the moves e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, c takes d, knight takes d, e5, and knight takes c6. Normally the usual move is this, and then Black can either go a6 or the more usual move d6 to avoid any knight to d6, and only then go a6. But okay, I let them play the move knight takes and c takes, of course, taking towards the center, and Winter calculated that knight to c3 is the best move here. Sorry. And also possible would have been bishop c4. So the two main moves in that position. And here Black can either go knight to f6 or bishop to b4, pin the knight, to maybe try and go d5. Well, d5 is always a little bit risky because of e takes, c takes, and bishop to b4 check. So yeah, let's see. Let's go with bishop to b4. This is the move I would consider. Then maybe let's go with this. Let's see how this would unveil. Bishop check, bishop blocks. Bishop takes, queen takes. Now this pawn is defended, so everything all right. So this kind of doesn't work, so White would have to play bishop c4. Now d5, e takes, c takes, bishop takes, queen takes. Yeah, d4 is the threat now. d4, well, bishop c4 avoids d4, d5 because of e takes, c takes, bishop takes, and the queen is also on d5. So yeah, let's see. Knight to f6, also going after d5, bishop g4, pins the knight. Let's say bishop takes knight to make some structural weaknesses, and then bishop here to again go b4. So bishop takes, queen takes. I don't know, d5 is avoided, but rook is coming to the d file, or maybe after castling the rook is coming to the d file and this rook comes to the half open or to the open b file. So let's see, but White can put some pressure on this bishop, and after you defend it, then maybe bishop here, which will pin the bishop and probably win it. So this is not possible, but maybe castling looks risky, but it defends the bishop. But let's see, queen here, add some pressure to this square right there. d5 now, takes, takes, bishop takes, rook takes. Okay, but you want to go there anyway. Yeah, this seems to be checkmate, or maybe soon to be checkmate. Looks bad for Black, this kind of continuation. So bishop to b7, probably not. Maybe d6 just to concede that, okay, d5 is not possible, but okay, you can go kingside. So let's say going kingside, rook b1, h6, bishop takes, queen takes. Yeah, it's interesting kind of variation, but we have something else here. Instead of bishop b4, we have to move knight f6 and bishop to c4. Can very easily transpose to this kind of line. d6, castles, not castles. Now you have to give away that bishop, because otherwise the knight can move. And now castling, rook b1 and h6. We are in this line. If you go back, then maybe even something like this is possible. You don't really want to open up this diagonal, although the rook is still covering that b6 square. But okay, bishop here, bishop takes, pawn takes, and now the knight can jump in here to there, which is slightly annoying. Also rook can come to the b file, but it's also weakening, so maybe h4 or something like this can be played, although then something like this still takes, probably queen takes, loses the d6 pawn, so you have to take with the pawn. And now if you take like this, I don't know, rook can come here, maybe g5, g6, install a phone pawn, and queen h4. So yeah, but we have this bishop b4. Let's see both evaluations. Stockfish thinks it's better for, slightly better for black, and Winter thinks it's slightly better for white, but both engines are thinking that it's kind of equal, this position. So let's see, we have, after bishop b4, we don't have the pin, we have castles. But it still can transpose into something like this. Let's see, h6 immediately, bishop takes. I would take off this knight, or well, before castling I would take this knight, of course. No, d5, probably d5 does work here. Rook there, queen there to defend everything, c4. I don't know, to defend the queen, takes, c5, try and win this pawn here, something like this, or even better, something like this. And it seems as though that white is okay there, so d5 probably not. So we have to move castling, not even giving up the bishop, and insert some structural damage. We have to move castling. Now probably bishop g5. I would consider bishop g5, but let's say you go something else, queen d3. What's the idea behind queen d3? Okay, to protect the knight. Don't lose the knight with some structural damage. And now this bishop here looks a little bit weird. You can still give it up. Queen takes and go d5 now. Attacking the bishop. Let's say the bishop moves, stays on that diagonal. Or here, well then a6. Now let's say here it prevents any bishop to there. And any rook to here, so this might be a good move. Pawn here, okay, you can insert that move. Now you have to keep an eye on this pawn. You either have to push one of those, or protect it with the queen. Let's say you go queen d6. You can insert even more pressure with rook b1, or Yeah, rook d1 probably looks nice. Now you have to push some pawns. Probably that pawn. Maybe able to jump in here with the knight to threaten on h2. But well, then you can just kick the knight. But okay, you can also go knight here. Play f4, f5, f6. Maybe. Also a5 is an idea to put the bishop on this diagonal. But on this diagonal it's also great. Okay, we don't have takes. We have d5 immediately. Pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes, queen takes. Okay, this is clearly not the intention. After pawn takes, yeah, you can still capture here and capture there. It doesn't really matter. d5, e takes, bishop takes, c3. Bishop here. We could end up being in that variation, and I quite like probably something like this to play bishop here, but this weakens the squares around black's king, around white's king really very much. So I don't know, just because of this. Let's say you go there with the bishop, but then knight g5 is coming with some bishop here. I don't know. You can go there, of course. It's not bad. Give up the bishop, play rook to the d file. Very harmonious. Play another idea would be to play this. The downside of b3 is that this bishop really has to stay on this diagonal. It's never able to come back here. Well, it's still hard because of this pawn, but we could put the bishop there to pin the knight to this pawn. So also an idea. Say you go there. Yeah, well, this protects this pawn here. So let's say this, threatening g4. G4 is not the threat, the bishop is on g4. So, but let's say f5. So that you have the possibility of rook here or rook there to defend along the second rank and be able to push this pawn to f3, to this square right here. So let's see, bishop takes c3 most probably. Let's go there with the rook. Let's set some pressure on this pawn. Let's go bishop here to defend. Yeah, looks alright for black. Pawn, a rook can come here, but okay, white can maybe go something like this, exchange queens, so it's probably not that bad for black either. And I can hobble back. Now always attack is over, but now this pawn is under scrutiny, so maybe b3 also gives the bishop a new square. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff here. Let's say we have bishop takes. Let's say you got b takes. B takes threatens the bishop. Okay, you still cannot take there, but probably bishop here. Now trying to go there with this bishop. Also this diagonal now is open. Maybe c4 is an option. Also looks kind of good to prevent any bishop g5. c4 takes, queen takes, maybe c4 now. d4 to close this diagonal and be able to play bishop there. Now this pawn looks a little weird, blocking in the bishop, blocking in the queen. Let's say bishop there attacks the rook, rook here, bishop there. You can either go rook there, and then bishop here and c5. e5 maybe. We have the move queen takes, but we analyzed queen takes already, so I want to be a little bit in this variation. So let's see, let's say, let's say the rook goes there. You don't want to exchange rooks. Pawn here, bishop there, e5, attacks the queen. Where's the queen going? Or maybe knight here to prepare any rook to here ideas. So let's say c5, attacking the rook. Rook here doesn't work because the queen can take, because this pawn is pinned. So rook there, but on the f file it doesn't do that much. And this pawn, yeah, is it a weakness or a strength? I don't know. It's protected by the bishop, but queen here will attack it again, and then probably queen there, then two defenders, and on f2 is, on f7 is a little bit of a threat. But okay, the knight can come into e5, the bishop goes here, maybe then some checks. So there are attacking potentials for black here, but okay, we don't have this. We have queen takes, keeping the structure intact. Also the endgames would have been better for black. And now pawn takes. Black has a huge center, very nice. Takes the bishop, bishop goes there. Okay, now there are two options. I see either e5 or h6 to prevent any bishop g5 ideas. I will probably go here, attack the bishop. Okay, we have another option by Stockfish. We have the move rook to e8. Okay, now this pawn is really very much, yeah, of course, sorry, bishop d3. Now this pawn is under attack, so there is not the option of playing h6. There is only the option of playing either e5 or rook e8, but after e5, let's see, bishop goes there, prevent rook e1, e8. Now this rook is really very not that great, and bishop here is now a threat, so you have to play h6, because otherwise bishop takes knight, queen takes would double the pawns here and isolate the h pawn. So rook here immediately is better than e5, I think, because e5 allows bishop to b5, and then the rook cannot come to the e file because bishop here would control this square. Okay, and also with that move you have still the option of playing d5. So let's say, okay, we have the move a5. Don't know what's the purpose of that move. a4 by Winter. Bishop d7. Let's see what Stockfish comes up with. a6 maybe to avoid any bishop b4. Well, let's continue with that. Queen and rook are defending this pawn, so it's alright still. So let's say bishop goes on this diagonal. Queen could attack it though, but it's not so important. Bishop rook here just defends the bishop, maybe prepares any bishop d5, and bishop takes on g2. So let's see, a5. Let's again see both evaluations right around here. Stockfish thinks it's slightly better for black, and Winter thinks it's equal. So okay, let's see. Depth, of course Stockfish has a greater depth, So let's see, what's the move here? Yeah, I also think black is already better in that position. Because black has got the center. And yeah, some really good attacking potential, either by pushing d4 and putting the bishop on b7 to insert pressure on this diagonal, or by playing e5 followed by some knight maneuver, f5, f4 and f3. But I think this plan with d4 is faster. Say queen there to prevent this right around now, but then let's say queen here to prepare this or that. Let's say bishop here attacking the rook, but you can just go here, pin the bishop, threatening a6. So okay, so now the queen has to move. Let's say queen moves here, and now bishop there, insert some pressure on this diagonal. Now a6 and queen c6 are coming, and the queen here looks very weird. So let's say the queen goes to the queen side, preparing bishop h6 or bishop g5, either to threaten mate or to threaten the knight. So queen here, also defend on g2. Yeah, interesting stuff. Queen g3. But I would start with bishop b7, because e5 you cannot prevent anyway. So let's say bishop here, trying to threaten the knight. Well, okay, if then takes with the queen. So let's say this kind of stuff. Doesn't really matter. Now this is probably coming, followed by queen there, and f5, f4, f3 still an option. And also in rook lift, e5, e4, both are possible. To first kick the queen and then kick the bishop. Yeah, this position should be better for black. Let's follow this through. Bishop, yeah, the bishop has to go somewhere. Yeah, you don't really gain something by playing the queen here. The rook can just switch there, and then yeah, it's opposite queen. Okay, but we don't have bishop b7. We have to move d4 immediately. So let's see, where is the queen going? Yeah, probably not there. Either here or there. Here has the prospects of controlling the b file temporarily, and also bishop here to threaten on c2 is possible. But if you go here, then just queen, not queen here. Yeah, probably queen here also could move, but queen there prepares rook to here to threaten the queen. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting, this position. So let's say you go to b3. Queen b3. Queen here prepares to go there when the bishop lands on this square. So rook here and queen here. Prepares rook there immediately, but this can wait. Defense on f7, so bishop c4 doesn't make any sense now. Also bishop here is now protected. You can play bishop here, rook there, then the two rooks say hello, hello. Okay, but we have a different move. We have queen c5 now. Okay, this pawn is defended, but probably rook here to try and threaten this pawn. Also avoid any queen c2. Let's say you continue. This now threatens that pawn. Knight back, attacks the queen, defends the pawn. So also prepares some queen maneuver. Okay, this square is currently covered from the bishop. Let's say you go there, attacking the bishop. Okay, you just defend it. Not going no, can't go here. The queen is still eyeing that square, but the idea was to threaten this pawn. Okay, we have bishop b7. Bishop b7, rook here. Bishop b7, rook there, knight here. Where is the queen going? Because now bishop takes g2 is a threat. So let's say the queen goes there, because it has no other squares available. Maybe some rook lift to here, queen there, and looks like a strong attack to me. So let's follow this through, preparing rook. This also, the bishop covers this square, so this rook's lift doesn't make any sense. Okay, this bishop, that diagonal is pretty strong, avoids any queen stuff. So let's start with queen h4. Okay, currently f5 is not possible, but knight here to here. Also after knight to there, knight to f6, this square is covered, and bishop here can come. Okay, but okay, but we have f3. Yeah, okay, blunting the bishop immediately. Also queen h4 has other purposes. It stops bishop g4, and then I can come here without bishop g5, and also it stops any bishop here or rook there. But okay, Winter plays the move f3. Okay, it weakens this diagonal here a little bit. But okay, what black doesn't have a dark square bishop, white has one. But okay, currently this square is defended. So let's say knight to h5. Also this move prevents any b6 ideas or knight e4 ideas or knight to 6 ideas, but the knight can jump in there, followed by queen to g5. And if you snap it off, then okay, this pawn becomes weak. So probably different idea, rook there, attacking the queen. Let's see, queen there attacks the bishop. Okay, we have a move here. We have the move a6. Now a6. Yeah, Winter is playing a good game here, I have to say, although Stockfish should be better here. Oh, Stockfish says it's equal. Also Winter says it's equal. a6, bishop g5. Well, Stockfish misplayed it somewhere, I think. a6 the move. I don't see why a6 is important. Okay, it prevents bishop to b5 attacking the rook, and it also prevents queen here, but okay, the queen can go there to attack the bishop. I will go queen here, and this rook to the c file and the other rook to the b file, then the queen really has some problems, but it can always hover back via this diagonal. So not that clear. Okay, we have finally finishing development with bishop to d2. This was not on Stockfish radar. Still it's around equal. So okay, I will smoke a cigarette while I'm commentating on this game. The opening is now officially over. Now the middle game has started. It's over. That's surprising. Winter lost on time. So, yeah. Okay. In an equal position. So, engines do lose on time. After rook c8. Okay, let's ask Stockfish how it might continue. Might have continued. So, Stockfish. I would prefer queen b4, attacking the bishop. Queen d7. Rook e2. Knight here attacks the queen. Queen there. Should be around equal. Okay. This is how it could have continued the game. But okay, this is consider this a theory now, because two engines played it. Knight here, bishop there, bishop b4, castles, castles, and queen d3 is the first new move. d5, okay. New move, I don't know if it has ever been played before. Bishop to g4, pinning the knight. Bishop takes c3, b takes c3, h6, queen there. Here, okay, this is how it could continue. With an even position. Okay, thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao.